Here's a tournament finals where we shared each other's signature Pokemon. It was a lot of fun, but I didn't quite make it. So this is someone else's battle. In the left corner, we have Timo, using my team. And in the right corner, we have Joey, using his own team. Now, Timo leads with Stealth Rocks with Uxie. And this is kind of scary, because if he had Bug Bite, that Uxie would have been dead instantly. But most Scizors have U-turn, which I know Uxie can live, but still, not very well. And so now Joey has a switch advantage. Out comes Volcarona, which is already a super big play, because he can start setting up the quiver dances, and there's really not much you can do once that starts. And so Timo decides to stay in with Uxie and, you know, let him die. Kind of a weird move for such a Pokemon like that. But he needed to do something. My guess was that he's probably going to try and yawn in case he did a quiver dance. But he got the special attack boost. Not that Quagsire cares about that. So he comes out and he does Bug Buzz, and Quagsire's special defense isn't exactly that great. Well, mine isn't. I didn't exactly invest into it, I guess. So he doesn't take it that well, but he has Recover, so he could still be in this game. And down goes Joey's Volcarona. So there's one Uxie gone and one wounded Quagsire. And Scizor makes his appearance again. Not quite sure what he could have that could hurt Quagsire, but I know he doesn't have anything to hurt Gliscor, and so does Timo. So he does Superpower. And it deals a pretty good chunk for not being very effective, and that's because it was a crit. So that's one crit for Joey. And Gliscor gets his Toxic Heal up. Joey switches to his own Gliscor, and then Timo flings the Toxic Orb. You know, just to make sure that thing is double poisoned, because that thing probably has its own Toxic Orb. Kind of a waste of an item now, but you know, you can't predict that. So these Gliscors are right in front of each other, staring each other down. And Timo decided to get some more ammo on that fling with a Toxic Orb. Where Joey just went for the raw damage, trying to weaken this thing. Timo, realizing it's not exactly the best battle, switches out to Ambipom, who can't really take hits that well. So that acrobatics is going to leave him less than optimal. And he protects on the predicted fake out. Good move. And for some reason he does low sweep. I don't know why. I'm guessing he thought Gliscor was too fast. Otherwise he probably would have gone for double hit. But that leaves Ambipom in the dust. And the Gliscor is 2-1 in Joey's favor. So out comes Tangrowth, which is my team's counter to Gliscor. And he switches out to Zapdos. So he uses Hidden Power Ice, assuming Gliscor stayed in. Well, he just wanted to do some more damage. And Zapdos is already kind of at half damage, so that's pretty good. So Tangrowth leaves. He doesn't want to get hit with a Heat Wave or anything like that. And out comes Quagsire. And nothing Zapdos has can really do anything to this Quagsire. But he does have light screen, which is going to make it so that Quagsire can't do anything to Zapdos. Plus, this is the perfect opportunity. To get some free health back. Sorry if this is a little slow, it's just I thought it was going to be pretty hard to narrate. Because I'm narrating two different people here. And so, Timo's out there with Quagsire, and Scizor can do some damage to him, but Gliscor is a pretty good switch. He's pretty much untouchable by Scizor. And he does the superpower again, and it does way less because it wasn't a crit this time. So, I think by this point Joey's already got it in his head that a good switch into Gliscor is Gliscor, because neither can really do anything. But the thing is that his has Protect, so he can sort of, you know, stall him out better, waste his PP, use the old VGC tactic. And so, Timo knows this isn't a good battle, so he switches out to his Tangrowth. And the thing is that Tangrowth can take about 3 acrobatics from Gliscor, and he has Hidden Power Ice. So, and he doesn't really need to worry about health that much, because every time he switches out, he's back to a third because of Regenerator. And the light screen just wore off, so Timo's in a pretty good position. Of course, Joey switches out. But Timo predicted that. And goes for the Leech Seed. So if Metagross wants to stay in against him, he's going to have to deal with that. Now, I'm not sure what that Metagross can have to deal with Tangrowth, so it's making me wonder what that guy's moveset is. Because Tangrowth can take his hits pretty well. But Quagsire comes out, and he tricks. Quagsire now has his Iron Bowl, and he gets Quagsire's leftovers. Pretty good trade for him, but Quagsire doesn't really care that much about speed. He will miss the leftovers though. Not with Leech Seed out, but that's only temporary. Immediately temporary, seeing how he switches out. And out comes Zapdos, who has been getting pretty hurt by Stealth Rocks the whole game. And Quagsire scalds him for it. Now, this Zapdos has showed pretty much his entire moveset. He hasn't attacked this whole round, this whole game, so it makes me wonder what he has. I mean, I guess no matter what, he probably couldn't hurt Quagsire. Hidden Power Grass doesn't seem likely, but he can still set up screens, which are kind of annoying, but not really, because the only two special attackers are Quagsire and Tangrowth. And I don't know what Timo was predicting. Maybe Scizor to come out? So we could get an Earthquake on it? I'm not sure. But I don't know why Scizor would have come out. If he sent out Gliscor, he would have just, you know, tanked it. So now Joey has Sleep Fodder, which is just dandy. So now he can't use like 3 of the moves I have on my guys. So he sends Zapdos out of there, and it's Gliscor versus Gliscor again. This is a really nasty matchup, especially with his having the upper hand. Mine's more about item utility, and once he gets, if he can get leftovers, he's never going down. But the thing is that, I don't know, he didn't seem to have as many leftovers as people usually run. So out comes Tangrowth, the simple counter to him, taking those super effective hits like a champ. Not only that, but it's boosted because he doesn't have an item. And so Timo's probably predicting Joey to switch, but he doesn't. He protects to try and scout, I guess. I'm not quite sure what that was for, because he's just getting HP back. And now the light screen's off. And Zapdos comes back in. Now this combo has been killer on this team. The Zapdos and Gliscor combo, and Scizor as support. So Gliscor comes back out. And Zapdos sleeps away, with his sleep counters reset, of course. And a double switch. He switches yet again to Gliscor. Gliscor tries to steal something. He just wants something in his hands, you know, something he can feel. He's probably trying to get it from Zapdos. And so Timo just switches back to Tangrowth. This battle's looking like not much is gonna happen. Joey might be banking on a crit, which could happen because he's getting more attacks in. The thing is that if he stays in once, that Gliscor's toast. Plus, Zapdos is taking its toll through Stealth Rocks and Hidden Power Ices that hit it. So Tangrowth does Hidden Power Ice. Whether predicting anything really, it would have done decent damage, except Scizor, I guess. Now Zapdos tries and burns off a turn of sleep. He doesn't wake up though. Meanwhile, Tangrowth continues to deal really good damage. Well, good on a Zapdos, I guess. And for such a bulky Pokemon, that's great. So Joey switches out again, not liking his odds in that fight. And out comes Scizor. Now this play is very, very dangerous. Timo decides to stay in on the Scizor. Now Tangrowth can tank a lot, and I actually think he can take a U-turn, so this move could have decided the game right there, because Hidden Power Ice would kill pretty much anything else Joey sends out. However, it was a crit. That Tangrowth dying was probably the worst thing that could happen to Timo ever in this battle. It's starting to look like he has to pray for a crit for his own. He's going to test to see how much Scald does, and it does almost half, which is pretty good damage. The thing is that it has Protect and Toxic Heal, so it can kind of abuse that. Timo sends out Mind Show. And he goes for the Fake Out for some reason. The thing is that Gliscor is a physical wall, and he can take Fake Outs pretty well. Seeing that, you know. Maybe not for Ambipom because it's boosted stab. So he does High Jump Kick anyway, and it doesn't deal that much at all. And proceeds to one-shot Mind Chow. So Timo's looking like he's in trouble. It's hard to say what's going to happen now. For him, at least. Joey seems to be riding on this. He protects and gets his toxic heal up. Now comes Zapdos for the final time. The only problem is Quagsire's support move is, or annoying move is Yawn, and he can't really put Gliscor to sleep. So even though the sleep fodder's gone, it's not really going to do him any good. Not to mention these protect stalls are going to wind up wasting all his PP on Scald, and then he won't be able to do anything because all he has is an Earthquake after that. So Quagsire's tanking those acrobatics like they're nothing. If he could just get 2 solid hits in with Scald, he's got it. It does a little over half, but the thing is with that protection stalling, it's pretty hard. Not to mention he can just switch at any point. And Timo's starting to realize he's going to need to conserve those Scalds, so he does a useless Earthquake. Joey switches out to Scizor. Now, a burn here would be pretty good, you know. Timo hasn't really gotten a crit or any status or anything like that, so maybe... Nah, it doesn't happen. So, Timo switches back into Gliscor, who can take hits from Scizor all day, every day. And he does Superpower, and it's going to be very weak. He can heal that off in a turn or two. Now, this is interesting. He switches out Scizor and goes back into Gliscor. So this battle's getting really tricky. There's not much either can do. And Timo does acrobatics, just in case he wanted to stay in. The thing is that if he switched into Quagsire, even if Scizor did another superpower and he was unaware of the drops, Quagsire could have taken those pretty well. Oh, but I guess he was kind of low. So, acrobatics to Quagsire, and another acrobatics, and Quagsire's finally down for the count. And that was really the only thing that probably could have killed Gliscor now. So, things are looking pretty grim. While Protect Stalling kind of works for both of them at the same time, it doesn't really work for Timo because he wastes PP every time. But you know, at least mine didn't have it because then it would be protecting every other turn, and so if they got the rhythm going, it would just be nothing happening and everyone wasting their PP. And a really, 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 really boring battle, but here's the intermission. No real progress is made. It's starting to look pretty bad for Timo. And by starting, I mean ever since that crit, things have just been going downhill. He's just hoping that maybe someday he'll get a crit. But it's starting to look like that's not going to happen. Because even if he got it at this point, I don't think it would kill Gliscor. So they're just shooting acrobatics at each other. And doing the Protect Stalling. Meanwhile, Timo's trying to make sure he doesn't, you know, waste time. Waste moves, I mean. And then something happens. Joey sends out his Haxorus. And he does an acrobatics on the switch, deals some pretty good damage, overhead. And he does an outrage. Now here's the thing. If he has a choice band, he might be able to win. If he steals that choice band, he might be able to deal enough damage to Gliscor. Of course, he would still get Protect stalled, but at the same time, even a choice banded struggle would be better than nothing. But it was a Scarf, so he couldn't do anything. In fact, he had to throw it or he would have lost, definitely. So at this point, his only hope is to just hope for another confusion. Well, one confusion, that is. And he doesn't get it. Alright guys, tune in to the next battle. Good game.